Good idea.
Very good idea. Oh, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, wherever you are from, joining in with Jackie and I for another week of our investigative tarot. And boy, Jackie, what a week we've had.
Yeah.
It's only Wednesday. Um, so thank you too also for anybody watching on playback. We are reading on Edna Quintana. She's currently missing in Colorado. But before we get started, just a few things. These readings are for educational and entertainment purposes only. Jackie and I have not been reached out to from had not have not been reached out to from whatever. I'm still waking up, folks. Um, by any sort of law enforcement, Edna's family, or friends. This is Jackie and I simply looking at divination means to see what happened to Edna Quintana. We do not make any money off of this. This is us simply wanting to look into giving the victim a voice, and possibly if a family member or a friend comes across, may get a hit or get inspired by something that we share. Um, that would be awesome. That's our hope. This is we do not do this for money or subscriptions or anything like that. So I just want to make sure I got that out of the way. And again, too, anything that we discuss is all conjecture. This is just us speculating on what possibly might have happened, who might have been involved. This is by no means can be used in a court of law. Everybody is innocent until proven guilty. And again, like I said, this is just Jackie and I throwing some cards, just trying to get an idea of what may have happened to Edna and her disappearance. So with that said, really quick, we got people popping in. Hello, Isadora, Fatima, Nancy, Saskia. Hello, Saskia. Good to see you. Hey, girl. Hey, Alton, Ariel, Tarot. Let's see. Anybody else? Wow. I'm going to actually let Jackie go because, you know, I, yeah, this was your baby. You made it happen, girl. So, Jackie and I had a fabulous afternoon visit yesterday with someone very awesome and amazing. And I'll let you go. Take it away.
The two of us, in case you're worried about us winking at you or anything, my left eye in particular is half asleep. We're both knackered.
Yeah.
It's like the morning after the night before.
Yeah. Well, it
We
is it is Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day, wink wink.
we both had we both had the same idea there a couple of weeks ago at the same time to contact Sasha Graham of our favorite deck and ask her if she'd chat with us about the deck. So I sent her an email and not expecting much because she's the tarot expert, she's a busy woman. And within a half an hour she contacted me and said, yeah, let's make it happen. So and I contacted the the artist of the deck as well, but he hadn't seen it unfortunately and couldn't join us last night. But the two of us are still wired after that live last night with Sasha because it was amazing. Some of you were on, you've seen it already. But it was just brilliant to actually talk to the creator and to tell her she was amazed at how much we get from her deck in our true crime readings. So it was just really cool. So thanks a million, Heather, for joining me too, because it was just the best.
Something told me to suggest it, and I thought, what harm could it be? Because it felt like a nudge. Because Jackie is like over the moon with this deck and with her vampire deck.
Oh, there you
Just
are.
who knows? Reach out, and I personally, didn't think that she would, but you know
Oh,
what? I mean, and she was so down to earth. Oh my God. It was just like somebody, just me for sitting down with a cup of coffee. There was like absolutely no conceit or,
no.
superficiality or anything with her. She was just really down to earth, gracious, laughing. I mean, we had a blast. And she
Yeah.
says that if we can get the artist, Mirko Piero Federici, um if we can get him on to join us to talk about the artwork, she wants to come back too. So stay tuned. We may have even a bigger show. With,
and shared everything on her website, her Instagram, and her Facebook, which was incredible.
Website, Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah.
You know, she took a picture of all of us, you know, while
What
we're
a
doing
woman.
our live. Yep. So it was amazing.
It was.
There was, and for a lot of people, she also has other decks. She did the Darkwood, which has been on my radar for a little bit. I didn't realize it was her. She also did another deck called, I think, the Garden of the
Tarot of the Witch's Garden.
Tarot of the Witch's Garden. Someone mentioned, I think Jamie or Gerald yesterday mentioned, or I think it was maybe Beth Aspasia Rising mentioned that I think Sasha might have gotten an award for like tarot deck or something like that for that year. So yeah, I would even love to bring her back maybe for one of those decks too. And she's got a podcast. She teaches workshops. She's got books, like she's got a book of 365 tarot spreads, and then she's got one that you can use do spell work with tarot. Just phenomenal, you know. You know,
I've ordered, you know, there's another one called The Magic of Tarot. I've ordered that, and I've ordered the Tarot of the Witch's Garden as well.
Okay, so yeah, most definitely, this is somebody I can get behind. You know? So, so if you haven't checked that out and you have a chance, we went through some of her cards. We took questions from chat. Rain couldn't join us; she was in chat, and we were, you know, taking her questions. So she was just very gracious, and even she says, "Well, I have questions for you, ladies." We're like, oh, okay. You know, usually it's the other way around. So, but yeah. And Sasha, if you're watching this back, thank you again. You were so gracious, my dear. Jackie and I appreciate you so much. And we hope to maybe, you know, have you join us someday. I know you said you don't really want to tap into a true crime energy for reading, but if you ever have a case or you kind of get the itch, maybe give it a try, just, you know, shoot us up. We'd be happy to have you.
Yeah, true.
Excuse me.
Poor Heather. There's choking with the excitement.
choking with anticipation. Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna have a drink now too while I'm at it.
And then I was up late last night with Allie and her game for dream interpretations and stuff. So yeah, it's been a crazy couple days. And hello, yes. And she was a very lovely woman. Yes. So was there anything you wanted to get out of the way before we start focusing on Edna here? Okay, with your channel?
Yeah.
Okay. So we are reading on Edna Quintana today. And so Edna was, it's just incredible how some cases just, you know, interconnect with each other. Edna Quintana went missing back on May 3rd. I believe it was the same year that Suzanne Morphew went missing. I'm looking here at my notes. There really wasn't much online at all.
Yeah.
Oh, you did get that deck. Oh, I know, that's on my radar as well.
Very pretty.
So I'm just going to start here. So Edna Quintana, she was from Saguache County, also the town of Saguache County, in Colorado. She was 55 years old when she went missing, was last seen May 3rd in the town of Saguache, which is then interesting because she actually later in another article said that she had went missing during a hike in the mountains with her 2-year relationship with her partner at that time. And I believe this was the same year that Susan went missing. Or the year after. I don't see that on here. Why is that not on here? Anyway, and she was a Hispanic woman. She was 5'4", 110 to 120 pounds, with brown hair and eyes. And the only reason we know about Edna really Quintana in mainstream, in the main, you know, social media and mainstream news, is because while looking for Edna is when they found Suzanne Morphew, excuse me. And of course, even then, poor Edna, her name kind of just got second place, because now that they found Susan, you know, Edna seemed to be set to the side. They're like, no, we're still looking for Edna. Well, I hope so, because unfortunately, a lot of times, missing men, women, and children from minority cultures and walks of life are the least, focused on in social media. Not knocking, well, horrible things happen to Susan or any other women, but Susan was, rich, white, and affluent, and very lovely. Her family's beautiful. So of course, mainstream media is going to focus on more,
Yeah.
these types of cases. And even now, Edna, when you see a video on Edna, who's the first name that's usually mentioned is Susan, because they were looking for Edna when they found Susan. So there's an area out near her that now they're not releasing much. I mean, this is pretty much it right here of what I could find. And half of this is just her basic information about what she looks like and everything. Um, Suzanne, not Suzanne, excuse me, Edna, um, is a mother. She has 5 kids. When she went missing, and when she went missing, an endangered missing alert was issued. And an endangered is anybody who is a danger of serious harm due to age, health, disability, environment, or the company of a potentially dangerous person. And when she went missing, she had gone off hiking, apparently in the mountains, allegedly up into the mountains, with at that time a guy she had been seeing or dating for 2 years. Um, the Squash Search and Rescue um, feel that she may be missing in the mountains surrounding the town. If so, why were they looking in the Boneyard, which is now what is being referred to the area where Susan's been found? Also, earlier that year, there was another young man,
Yeah.
Montoya, who James Montoya, I believe his first name was found, his remains, and they actually found another set of remains while looking for Suzanne. So there are now a known one, two, at least 3 sets of human remains that are being found in this area, being nicknamed the Boneyard. Apparently, this huge section of flat land, just full of scrub. People, there's some, I guess it's like privately owned, but people rarely go on it. And so it's on a main road, but it's not a main road, like a highway stretch. So people really, there's not enough, police officers that go up and down this area to be really monitored. So this has becoming known, apparently, as a
Mm.
place where people are, you know, dumping off remains of people that, so it's really sad.
That's
Um, she has acquaintances in Center, Colorado, which is 23 miles south of Sagosh, or Sagosh, depending on how you pronounce it. Um, so yeah, there the article that I found, nobody's mentioning the name of the boyfriend. She had been seeing him for approximately 2 years. They're referring to him as her companion, and we're like, okay, yeah, it's a boyfriend. The sister, her name is Marilyn Quintana. She's still pushing to have her sister, found, trying to get media to pick up the case. And according to the boyfriend, they went for a walk in the mountains, and then decided to go back down the mountain. And there's nothing else in the article. This is just the words that they were using. And I went back down the mountain. The boyfriend, when he, got back to his car, she wasn't there, and apparently he just took off. And the article says his name is not being released because he's not a suspect yet. Oh God, people. And this article, I think, was about a year ago. So maybe he is, but there's nothing being really put on the internet at all, updates or articles about this
yeah.
case. Why? Because it's not really newsworthy, you know, which really pisses me off. It really does. So yeah, that's all I have. That's all I could find. What did you?
I know they said in the video that I watched, which was only, as I said to Heather backstage, was only like 6 minutes long. That was the longest thing I could find on YouTube about this woman. And it said that, and I presume myself it's to do with this boyfriend, but it said that groups of people that she'd been with in recent times were just dodgy people that no one else liked, none of her family or whatever. They said she was just around a lot of dodgy people. So I'm assuming there's some link with them and the boyfriend, but anyway.
So thank you, Allyson. That's what I couldn't find where I had written it down, but yes, 2023 of last year. So it's been 9 months. And there has to have been an update, because if they said she went disappearing in the mountains, why were they looking for her, all that way outside of town, in that area where, so that there must have been some sort of, say hi to a few more people. Hello, Hershey, my dear. Book Bewitched is here. Sylvia, Colorful Foresight is here. Two of my, oh, that's so sweet. Oh, yay, Shaw Woman and Nancy, two of my favorite magical women. Very sweet. And hello, Isadora. You are here, my, oops, yeah, no, that's Isadora. And Karen Johnson, hello. Oh, first time. Oh, thank you. Good to see you. So initially, like Jackie and I always do, we pull cards, beforehand to kind of get a feel. And I'll just really quick from my true crime deck that I ordered. And it's weird. So it was like, oh my God, like I'm surprised, but yet I'm not surprised. So the first card I get was rage or extreme anger was a motive. I asked about her disappearance. I also got then spontaneous behavior or mental illness contributed to the crime. So there's again this rage, this anger, and the last one, dating history. So there we go.
Killer knew the victim. Wow.
So those were initial of mine, and then Jackie and I sent each other pictures. Well, Jackie, you posted a video on your channel, but we were getting a lot of things. I was getting money. I don't do reversals. I got an upside down 2 of Cups right next to a 5 of Wands and a Chariot. I was getting 9 of Swords. What really broke my heart was like the Star card. Then I had the King of Swords, and then I had the 9 of Swords. She was really hopeful for this relationship. I know as we get older, a lot of us, if we don't have anybody, we feel lonely. We want to kind of have that companionship, and we're hoping to, not have to spend the rest of our lives alone. So for me, it looks like she was very hopeful for this relationship, but she was very headstrong. I got Queen of Wands for her. So she didn't take any BS, but after that, money, struggling, oppression, 3 of Swords again, moving on, the Devil card. So yeah, this doesn't look like this. Definitely for me, it feels it had to do with, in connection with this relationship we was having. And I'll give it over to you, Jackie.
Yeah. I can't remember the tarot cards that I had pulled, but they were all kind of around the whole, like I was thinking kind of like a cult or some weird group of people, that was involved with this. And the fact that like Heather said, this place is known as the Boneyard because they found remains of multiple people there, like kind of drove that home for me, that maybe there's this cult in that area that are kind of, and maybe your one's boyfriend was part of this group, and that's how she ended up dead. And I know, like, it wasn't Suzanne and the husband, weren't they both cheating on each other? So maybe they were both involved with, someone in this fictitious cult, let's call it. That we're all involved, because I do have weapons and targeted victim. So like the targeted victim would tie in with the fact that people are just being found in this place, and maybe they're kind of targeting certain people, I have death and I have cult or groupthink. So I mean, that totally made sense with the tarot reading that I did a day or 2 ago, whatever it was. And then I have all these which are similar. So I have social media, video, audio, surveillance, cell phone, and photos, so which would suggest that there is evidence somewhere. Now, maybe she wasn't on social media, but it's just that these would all suggest that there is evidence out there, kind of in front of people, you know. But it would kind of seem like these cases must be linked in some way, you know.
For me, I'm for the cars that I've gotten, it feels like it's, and what the police are saying is that because this area is so remote, people don't go out there. There are wild animals that come and go. They know that if people were to dispose of bodies there, that no one ever goes out into there. There's wild animals to take and pick apart and to naturally
Yeah.
dispose of them. And I was getting a lot of pentacle cards, and I was feeling that, for Edna being 55, she was probably on Social Security, or getting some sort of check, because I know a lot of us, like with Shannon, we live, check to check every month. And a lot of times, some people are willing to kill for a person's check, especially if, their source of money, of their income. And one of the cards that I got was that Nine of Cups with the guy when he's all smug, like, yeah, it's like, you can't do anything. You have no, I mean, it's just, for me, the cards were just reading that he presented himself one way. I had a King of Cups, and then the next one, it was like the King of Wands. Oh, I'm very sweet, loving. And then the minute you start getting into a relationship, that's where you see, and it could very well be that he had people that did help him. And that could be where the group, they came together to think, how can we, you know, but there was, like I said, really nothing that else I could find that stated that she had an inheritance or what kind of, because from my understand, she lived in a trailer out in the trailer park. And for a lot of us, that's, the best, most affordable way for a lot of people to live, especially on Social Security. So it may have been, that someone was just looking to, you know, shack up with somebody for money. And then with her being
Oh,
very
yeah.
strong, that being that Queen of Wands that I got for her, it just felt like she was one of those people that would not put up with that shit. This is, so I figured I would just, I saved those and then we can maybe start fresh. I have, because I haven't used Sasha's cards or anything else. But yeah, it could very well be that he had some friends help him, or they went up. For me, that they said they went for a hike together. And I'm just wondering if, like those cards show, they got into an argument. She said, no way. And that group thing may have been too people coming to help him clean up after it too.
Because I have accessory after the fact just fell out.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that would tie in what you just said.
And Book Bewitched really quick. Check Jackie's hair. It's gleaming burnished copper.
That's not my real color. I don't know what it is anymore.
So I figure I'm going to just start shuffling. And so do we want to, like usually with, most of the cases that we start, we just kind of ask,
Ooh.
what led up to, maybe he just planned it too, Isadora. Yeah.
Mountain.
Yeah. So I'm just going to shuffle first. And for me, I'm going to ask what led up to, you know, her I mean, I know she was murdered. Whether it was an accident, the card says someone got angry, maybe they got into a fight, one pushed the other, got angry, maybe not. I don't know, but in some
Yeah.
way, whether this is negligent homicide or manslaughter or intentional premeditated, um, I still feel that he is some way involved. But just, you know, leaving him out of just what led up to her disappearance. Yeah, because she's deceased. She has
Yeah.
5 daughters. Her sister misses her. There's no way that she's still, because she would have come back by now if she was. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and mute myself and I'll pull some cards. And when you're ready, go like this, and I'll
What
put
are
you on.
we what are we asking? So
Just what led up to her disappearance, see what was
okay.
going on, and then up until the time she went missing.
Okay. What led up to her disappearance? Man. So there you go.
I'll keep you on the big screen because I'm just starting to shuffle.
Right. I'm just gonna show them as they fall out. I still have this sinking suspicion that this man was part of some dodgy group anyway, because like I said in the video that I watched, they did say that that she had been around a lot of
Oh,
dodgy
really?
people.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then it says stranger and hit and run just came out. So maybe, and I mean, hit and run doesn't have to be about a car. I suppose it could be just about that maybe he clobbered her over the head with something on the side of the mountain and ran off, you know? But maybe there was a stranger involved, which, and of course I had the card a while ago. The one about the accessory after the fact or whatever the name of the card is.
I gotta get that deck.
I love this deck. No, nothing whatsoever, Allyson.
Nope.
They won't even put out his name.
Because he's not considered a suspect.
Which is completely bizarre. The first person that's a suspect is the person that's with them when they disappear or whatever, you know? So it's just incredible.
And what law enforcement does too is they also do things like that so that they don't cause too much of a they don't want to share too much so they don't scare people off or keep people from coming forward. So there are times that they withhold information to kind of, make it where they feel like, oh, they're not looking at me. I can still, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting what I got.
It's crazy.
So I pulled from Sasha's
Put yourself on the big screen there first.
Oh, yeah. It's like, oh God, you can probably just woke up a little while ago. So leading up into, so I got the Page of Cups, and for me again, this is a dreamer. She just very loving, very nurturing. She was a mom, she just wanted, for me, and with the butterflies, with the transformation, she just really wanted a change in her life. She's very intuitive as well. And then we move into the Nine of Pentacles. And I love in this Nine of Pentacles, she uses an owl, which is wisdom.
Beautiful.
So, and if Jonathan, if you watch this on the playback, nope, there's no snail in here. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No snails. There's no
That's the
snails.
only thing, but anyway.
Yeah. But the Nine of Pentacles, just her being very independent. This is my home. This is my garden. This is, this is who she was. She, like, again, she was a very independent woman. She was a Queen of Wands I had gotten for her. Just very, she was established. And of course, when somebody knows that someone's got money or they've got resources, a lot of times, they'll just, they'll single you right out. You become this person's focus. And knowing too that she was kind, loving, welcoming, and if she said she was with dodgy people, she might have been one of those people that wanted to give people a benefit of a doubt. Again, the cups, a dreamer, fantasy, kind of wishful thinking,
Yeah.
The next card, there's that skeleton in the wall, in the closet. So I think she ended up getting a different perspective of who this individual was that she was with, or individuals, but I'm feeling like a little bit more focused on him because I did get the Page of Swords, and there's the house, playing house, eyeing house, and with the mask too, it feels like almost kind of like a false person. And so again, there's the house. And then at the bottom I got the Ten of Cups. all she wanted was a happy relationship. She wanted, with family, but this person here with this, for me, this is just very mask, a hidden person, not
Yeah.
being who you think they are, or not wanting to see somebody for who or what they were. And that's what I got from Sasha's deck right now for that question. And I'll put you back over.
I showed those two, the hit and run and the stranger. Oh, and man, yeah. So man involved. I think that's your man anyway. These are just other random ones that drama filled. Like, I don't know, maybe they started having a conversation up in the mountain, and she was saying she wanted this 10 of cups, like Heather said, and maybe he kind of didn't want all that. Or I have jail or imprisonment, so maybe I wouldn't think that that's anyone's in jail or prison or going to jail or prison, but maybe it's him saying he was feeling like he was in jail or being imprisoned by her wanting so much, that kind of thing. I have poison. I don't necessarily see it as her being poisoned, but more just that he was the poison, because I also have choke. So I already had weapons, so maybe he had some sort of what do you call it in America? Is it a garrote or something, that thing that they use to choke people? Whatever that word is.
Yeah.
I don't know, do we use that here? But anyway, yeah, so choke, that made me think of that. So yeah, that's just a few that fell out there while I was shuffling away.
So I asked my heaven and earth cards for the yes and no's, if he was any way responsible. And even though this initially came out, it's a no card, I did get the King of Swords again. So I feel that he is a prime figure still. The swords could not. I mean, he's got a scythe. Scythe is for cutting, releasing. I mean, it's just. I got the Wheel of Fortune, which is a yes card for me in my deck. I got abandoned success. It's a no, but that was her she was going to walk away. I think this might have been like, oh, let's go talk about this. Let's go work things out. Let's go for a walk kind of deal. Then I got my yes card, material happiness. I got the Emperor again for him. Yesterday I pulled Emperor several times. And even though this is a no card, I did get great strength. She put up with a lot. Let me see what's on the bottom here. And then I got, the Four of Swords. So I do feel that he is a part of what happened, of what led up to, just because he was controlling and everything. Emotional, material happiness. Yeah, she was supposed to be like his. You have your sugar daddies. She was supposed to be. He wanted to live off of her. He wanted to. He was elite. Entertainment purposes only. It feels like this person may have been like a leech wanting to live off of her, and when he couldn't get his way. And I saw that there were some questions, so I'm going to go back up here. I did see you down there, Book Bewitched. Hello, Coyote. Oh, sweetheart, I hope you're feeling better soon. Let's see, making sure. Okay, so Book Bewitched, did the spirit boxes not work out? Has anyone made contact with her yet? Book Bewitched, I don't know if you mean with us, but for our readings, we're refraining from using a spirit box during our live readings. If anybody has one, like Hershey does, if you want to, use it, after the show and then send us information, that would work. But in the actual, any paranormal investigation into Edna, not that I know of, but I did notice that I was watching a paranormal spirit box session that a couple gentlemen did for the Delphi case. And it was really difficult for them to get a straight answer because other spirits were influencing and interfering with the spirit box. They were kind of giving them a runaround. One person say, well, was this person involved? Yes. When they would ask again, another person would say no. And then these odd names were coming out that were not even connected. So the spirit boxes are very useful. We've seen, Hershey use them here when she's been with us, but on the side, we just got to start focusing on maybe our own hits, our cards. I even have my pendulum here too with me today. I want to start working again with the pendulum. But if somebody, wants to try after the show, do a session, see what you get, sure, email me and Jackie. Let me see what you get. And book Bewitch also in social work. I didn't see strong women hook up with groups of dodgy people, much since dodgy people are usually Klingons. No boundaries. Just wonder if family is clear. It felt wrong, but it's interesting. Because I did have a suspicion a little bit about a family member. It's interesting that you brought that up. We can look into that, Jackie, if you like. Just kind of randomly asking, did any family members? I've seen the video of her sister, and her sister's just like, my sister's not getting any information. But it's interesting, book, that you said that, because I wrote something down and I decided not to say anything. But because you brought that up, in one interview or on video or in an article, her sister Marilyn says their cousin of theirs waited to tell her that her sister was missing.
Yeah.
It took a couple days.
Yeah, that's true.
So we can pull cards, see if a family member, and see if that pans out. But good catch there, Book B. I'm just kind of regrouping here, thinking about. So we just pull cards on.
I've the
okay.
there as well in the Chariot.
There we go.
Oh, like you
just cups too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I just got that as well, and the Chariot.
And there's the door. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I got the Chariot yesterday too.
Interesting.
Let me see. New comment. I'm not endorsing. Oh, just wondering. Oh, this I haven't. For me, I wait until after now when Jackie and I do a reading to see if there's any people doing a tarot read for a lot of these cases that Jackie and I have been reading on. There are people who are doing online YouTube cards to see what happened to the people that we've been looking at. And right now I've been holding back and waiting so that I don't get influenced. Sometimes, spirit boxes are very useful. There was a case there was a show called Paranormal Lockdown with Nick Groff and Katrina Weidman that was here at the Statler about, I would say 6-7 years ago. And information that they got on their box, they were actually able to give to local law enforcement about a murder case that happened like a decade or a couple decades before. So depending on the information, if it could be clarified, if it can be trusted, they can prove beneficial, to a case. And let's see, what do we have here? I know I should probably wait to say anything, but since Heather's getting a lot of swords, I pulled 10 of swords and ending. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because I had weapons too. Yeah.
So, any hits though, as you're getting as we're going along, when Jackie and I are officially done with our cards, feel free to either share it in the chat or in the comments, however you would like to feel comfortable. But yes, I will acknowledge the 10 of swords. Jackie and I have both gotten it. Hello, Marby. Good to see you. So, do you just want to directly ask now who was involved? Because I have something I wanted to try. I separated my court cards from one of my decks, and I want to try something new and shuffle and see can find out if I can get like the main person or persons involved. And I'll use like a court card as like a base to pull cards on and around. So do you want to see if, ask specifically first if he was involved, the boyfriend, and then we could go to family?
Yeah.
So boyfriend. Okay, so I don't know if this is going to work, but I just thought it might be, you never know.
Just in relation to Book Bewitched question there, what does the Chariot mean in this case? Like I would just see it, and because it was the 8 of Cups, which is someone moving away. Hey Pisces.
Okay.
I would see it as maybe her trying to get away from him, and him kind of putting her in the car and taking her off up into the mountains to go for a hike, and whatever.
And Sasha wrote for Chariot, where do you want to go? Conquest. They might have said, where do you want to go today? You want to go for a drive? You want to go up to the mountains? Conquest, driver's seat, action, travel, movement, confidence, and energy. So yeah, all this was moving. This was all in place. And I love how it says, where do you want to go?
Yeah.
That might have been what he posed to her that day. Oh, come on, let's talk about this. Let's go for a walk. Where do you want to go? Because it was his car. That's right. So for people coming in, his story is that they went for a hike. I don't know if they said that there was an argument, but she had left. She went downhill, and by the time he got back to his car, she was nowhere to be found, and he left.
But nothing said why she walked off, no?
Nope. Mm-mm.
Yeah, you see, like, it's just all too, I don't know. It's like they just decided to play a game of guess what happened and made up any old shite and put it out there in a video or two on YouTube, and that's it. Like, it's I don't know. Mm-hmm. So was the boyfriend involved?
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to work. Ooh, let me mute myself.
Asking was the boyfriend involved? I just cut the deck and took the top and bottom card like I often do. And I got the 3 of Cups, which would say yes to me. We got this in another reading before. A couple of us were after talking about water, how we felt whoever we were reading on was underwater, and we got this card. This would say yes to me. I mean, you have the celebration here on top, which is normally in the 3 of Cups, but then you have the woman drowning under the water. So it's like she went off with him for this hike, thinking they were going to have a nice little celebration and a nice time, and just the two of them up the mountain with a picnic and whatever. And she ended up like this instead. And I have the 9 of Wands from the underneath of the deck, and in this deck it's just, I love it. She's after coming out of this big maze. So she's been frantically running through this maze, and she's gotten out, and she's still surrounded by all these wands, like this wall of wands around her. But there's 8 wands around her, but she still has the one in her hand. She's still fighting. She's still trying to escape, So, yeah, it just looks like these would say yes to me anyway, that he was involved. But with regards to the family, like I had, I forget what the first word is, but the card that suggests that someone else helped afterwards. So maybe it was a family member that helped afterwards. It just seems like, I don't know, there must have been some serious dodgy people that she was involved with, from what I can gather from the cards I've pulled so far, Showwoman, and he'd just leave her there not knowing. Yeah. If something doesn't make sense, it usually isn't true. It does makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, the fact that they went up a mountain together hiking, and she supposedly walked off and came back down by herself, and then he came back down and couldn't find her. Like, that was his story. So how the hell does that make sense? And how the hell do cops automatically believe that when she hasn't been seen for the last 9 months? Like, so he left her when she's not there. That's dodgy. And there's absolutely no more information whatsoever on it. That's it. And not even knowing then who he is or anything, of course. Heather, what are you wowing about? Hey, Care Bear.
Hey, Care Bear. Yeah, Dina, something doesn't. Yeah. Well, okay. Where do I start? So one of the first, I tried doing, a court card. I did get the Page of Wands, and what jumped out to me is breaking news.
Put yourself
Something's
on the
going to
big
you're
screen first.
exploring big news. I got the Page of Wands, so action, something. For me, he kind of took hold, but for me, this is new direction, breaking news, and explore. So for me, this almost feels like something is going to come to light with him. Breaking news, something's going to be released. What I did get was yes, the for me, YouTube again, entertainment purposes only. I feel, according to these cards, that the boyfriend is responsible. I got the awakening card, a spiritual card. She had an awakening, an epiphany to what was going on with him, and see all these other zombies. And for me, almost it feels like this could maybe be part of that crowd or people, other people involved, because she's being surrounded and she's grabbing that inner girl, inner child. And for me, it feels like she kind of knows what's coming. And there's the Two of Cups, the boyfriend. This is the relationship, Two of Cups. And just like Isadora and before already, again, I got the Ten of Swords. I decided to pull a few more just to keep them coming. I got the Six of Wands, which is usually about victory, but it feels like she was fighting. She was above, she was trying to get away. And then the Tower moment came. So I feel like she did try to get away. She saw what was going on. For me, it's kind of eerie with the zombies coming for her. And then the fire when the horse like tried to get away. And yeah. Then we got the Ten of Swords and we have the Tower. Everything's come crashing down around her. I also got the Strength card. For me, reading this, it was just like, it felt like it was like an overpowering, because I asked for a clarifier and I got the Ace of Wands. And like I explained before, because of Aphrodite doing his readings on crime, a lot of times he looks at the candle as male. It's like it's phallic. I'm using much nicer terms than he does, but it's basically this idea. It was lit. It was started. Here's the candle, and in this instance, for me, this was his idea. When I asked for my yes and no's, if other people were involved, possibly with family, I did get of all my yes and no's, I got a majority of yeses. And what card did I end with? The Strength card. I also got the Chariot. World, coming full circle. I did get the Queen of Swords. It's a no card, but this gives me a feeling of somebody involved, either an actual female or this person had very Queen of Swords energy. The communication, being very sharp tongue, very just, but you holding the head. For me, and with that one article stating that a cousin waited a day or two to tell her that her sister was missing, and that cousin is supposed to be a female. I want to go mute myself and see if this is the cousin, if this is the family member. So I'm going to mute myself. I also did get the Moon card as well. So there are secrets. Things are in the shadows that are hopefully going to be brought to light because of that Page of Wands in the beginning. And this Chariot too, moving things forward. I also did get the Cup card, the Ace of Cups. So a lot of emotions was behind this. A lot of things were coming full circle. This was just like she didn't see it coming, but yet I think on a certain level she did. But again, because of her being that Cups, just wanting to be nurturing and kind and being dreamy and being in fantasy, she really didn't want to see what was going on. So I'm going to pull to see if this is the female cousin.
in the, your Six of Wands card, in the Wands suit, it's the kind of cult, like the Four of Wands is the
Yeah.
sacrifice, and then the Five of Wands is the fighting, and the Six of Wands, that is her trying to get away from that cult. That's her on her horse trying to get away from them. So, it all kind of ties in, like.
And she wasn't strong enough. And there's the male. I mean, it was just all, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that Tower card. I mean,
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and, I don't know, did you pull cards on a family member?
I asked, was any family members involved? Yeah. Is this cousin female? Yes. Yeah. And it's funny because, so I asked, was any family involved? So I have the Nine of Wands, which I just had a while ago, which was her trying to get away from having gone through all this drama up in the mountains, say, with him, and trying to get away. And then the next card, Death, which is a beautiful lady in this deck with her scythe. And I've already had the weapons card, and you were talking about, Heather, one of the swords court cards. So we've kind of had weapons, but then the next card under the deck is the Hermit. So I would see this as him, and then like someone watching, and it's a female. It's Raven, the main character in this deck, but like it could be the female cousin, watching on, or kind of waiting to help dispose of the body or whatever, entertainment purposes only, blah blah blah. And then I have, there's actually more under the deck with the Chariot card again. So maybe it was someone was waiting at the car to put whatever in that they had to dispose of, whether it was her or tools they'd used, or who knows, who knows what. So yeah, that's what I have from my asking, was any family involved? But the only, oh God, Heather's face. The only family mentioned, of course, was the cousin anyway, who told the sister 2 days later, I believe it was, that she was missing. Heather, what are you looking so horrified for? Are you ready to tell us?
No, it just is. It's awful because you shouldn't have to worry about family.
Yeah.
So I asked. I got the Queen of Wands again. For me, the Queen of Wands is very much Edna. In this situation, but in the asking about, because I asked about the Queen of Swords, then they gave me the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands, it's to answer one queen, they give me another queen. But the cards that followed through with it, because on Sasha's deck, the Queen of Wands is very stately. She holds her candelabra. She's in her music parlor. It's all about creativity, passion, excitement. So something just jumped into my head. I'll hold on to that for a second, because you got the Three of Cups, right? 3 people. What if possibly Edna's boyfriend was double dipping in the family?
Oh yeah.
This could possibly, but what I got next was with family member. I got the Three of Swords. There's the stake right into the heart. It broke her heart.
Yeah.
I also got the Knight of Pentacles, which is somebody who studies slow moving. The owl. So yeah, for me, the owl taking the coin, the seed, moving forward. I think it's going to be moving into that direction. But when I saw that Three of Swords, so I'm just going to go ahead and ask if, I don't know. Let me hand this over to you. What would you like us to ask next? Because I'm suspicious now of with that three
Well,
of cups and that three of swords, and then this woman that keeps coming up. I'm wondering if there might have been, this boyfriend with other people within her family.
well, Show Woman just put up a question. Can you pull the real purpose of her wanting to hike and at that area they went to? So I just asked what was the real reason for the hike. And I got the Knight of Pentacles, which you just had. Jinx. And the Six of Swords, which is quite dramatic in this deck because she's trying to get away from this bad guy and rushing over the cliffs, and there's lightning and there's loads of drama. So and if you think about it, right, the Knight of Pentacles, right, is the most grounded of all the knights. Like, he'd be a knight that you'd have a long-lasting relationship with, kind of a thing, So this would suggest to me that she wanted that, he wasn't that, and he broke her heart here with the Six of Swords, kind of stabbed her with all these swords, and whether metaphorically or whatever, and she hears her trying to run away from him then when whatever kind of craziness went down,
And I missed a card when I was just sharing mine. I also got the Seven of Pentacles, touching a rose and then getting I didn't know that she had gotten pricked by a thorn because it was so small, but she's touching her finger and there's blood. So I think she didn't realize that one of her roses or somebody within her surroundings in her circle was hurting her. And that was also a blow to her, because I got that along with, so yeah. So what was her question? Oh, what was the purpose of the hike that day?
Yeah.
And you pulled on that. Just let me see what the purpose. Oh, and here we go. Because sometimes me and the other woman card, that's what I was thinking. And I want to share what Allyson, and I'm going to.
Yeah. When I read a queen and get another queen, that clarifier is that queen's truth. Okay. Because that's something that would stress me out too, is if I had a few court cards in a reading and it's like, oh Jesus, what how do I put all these together? I feel that too, Jackie. About these two cards, is it, Show Woman? That would make sense to me with these two cards, because the Pentacles is just, he's a Knight of Wands is just a fiery, passionate fella who has a fling and then disappears. And a Knight of Cups could be overly emotional, and whereas a Knight of Pentacles is just very grounded and he's in it for the long haul. It's slow moving, and tell me.
Okay, lots of healing energy to your hubby, TK. Hope he gets well and heals fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So wait, I got kind of confused here. Let me go back to Allyson, because Allyson is really good with court cards. When I read a queen and I get another queen, that clarifier is that queen's truth. Okay, which is, this is interesting because I got the Queen of Swords again. So when I asked what was the true purpose of going to that mountain for that hike, I'm just going to put me on just really quick.
Yeah.
Moon card, Chariot. So there was shadow, there was secrets, the truth was hidden. It was not what Edna thought it was going to be. There's the truth. And cards I got, there's the Queen of Swords and the King of Pentacles. So it could very well have been, again, someone waiting for her. That there could have been this group of three. I'm still feeling like there's, like you said, more involved. I think there's like a third party. It's another woman. So I'm going to just, who is this Queen of Swords? And hopefully I don't
It's Queen of Swords again.
Who is this Queen of Swords? The Star card. Okay. That's interesting. Dominion. 2 of Wands. So the Queen is clarified by the Star. So whoever this Queen is, this person had hopes, they had dreams. This could very well, this could be the other. Because I just don't feel like Edna is a Queen of Swords is very strong, analytical and stuff. But for me, unless she saw what was going on and this was her attempt to but I got that Star again. I keep getting the Star when it comes to their relationship, because initially I had, the King of Swords. I had the Star, the King of Swords, and then the Nine of Swords. So she had hopes and dreams for this relationship, but then the Sword comes in, just cuts them, and it causes her pain. This King of Pentacles, somebody who's got to do with wealth, or this could have been him wanting the wealth. He wanted the money. Dominion, for me, dominion is dominion over her, wanting control over her finances, and one more card for why. Five of Wands, strife. So yeah, this wasn't meant to be a pleasant trip. I don't think Edna was meant to come back.
Yeah.
Perfect work. Foundation. On the bottom, Knight of Cups. Oh, that's interesting. Knight and Princess of Cups. So that could be. I don't know what you get, Jackie. Did you pull anything else?
I just asked who was Heather's Queen of Swords.
Okay.
And I have the Emperor and the Five of Cups. So Queen of Swords is someone who convinced him to get rid of her, to break her heart, or to, whatever. Because there's our Emperor with his gun.
Yeah, reverse energy, but we only read uprights. I will read a reverse if it flips out. Because then I really know that I need to pay attention to that. But Queen of Swords in reverse, watch out. Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, it would seem like it was 3 people, all right, because like I said, I asked who was the Queen of Swords, and I'm reading it as someone who convinced him, the Emperor, to break her heart with this Five of Cups, Him holding that rifle, wow, yeah. Exactly.
This is interesting. So I did get the swords, the 6 of Swords. Thinking about her again and him on that mountain. Yeah, I got the King of Cups. Just being very loving, very charming, very chivalrous.
Yeah.
Then I got the Sun card, which is interesting. Unless this is shedding light, this could very well have been that she ended up seeing the light of who he truly was. He wasn't this King of Cups. I'm just going to ask for a clarifier on the Sun card. 4 of Swords. Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, she was the money. But there's not much more, because there is really nothing on this case, that we can focus a question on.
Yeah, I
know. I'm just going to use. Do I want to use a different deck? Okay, I'm going to use this deck for the third party and see if I get that one card that comes up where more than one person is involved. Emperor is a planner and in control. Exactly. Yeah.
I have a Page of Pentacles just flew out. the Pentacles court cards in this deck are witches. So this is a young witch sitting kind of, you know, hatching a spell or whatever. She's her hands held out. And she has like a new seedling here floating above her hands in the energy that she's creating. So it's like someone kind of creating a plan, you know. I wasn't asking anything, it just flew out while I was shuffling. So yeah, I'm just gonna ask, I think, do we need to, or you know, is there anything else?
So I was asking about Edna with the crime deck again, and I got victim stalked by killer.
Stalked by killer.
Yeah. But this is what gets interesting. This crime may be solved by DNA testing or other scientific methods. And there were 2 DNA strands on there. And for me, DNA also can, can also mean family, like DNA. So because there's 2 there. Killer may, and didn't you get killer may currently be in prison in your other?
I had jail imprisonment. Yeah.
So I don't know if somebody involved may have already been in prison for a similar crime. But it says a closer observation of the victim's living space might provide clues. So Book Bewitched asked earlier if there was if they had noticed anything missing from her home. So let's see. If I had to take a call, do we know if her trailer had been looted? And as she's saying, I didn't even see that. And I pulled this.
Yeah.
What deck is that? This is it's the true crime. She just has to wear crime scene caution tape on the outside of her cards, but she is on Etsy. If you go in and type in true crime oracle cards, this is typically the first deck that will pop right up.
Yeah.
Because I think it's because it's one of the more reasonably priced ones. A lot of other people's in there, you're going to be looking at, you know, $70, $60, $70, $80. So that's why Heather tries to make her handwritten ones, and I gotta do it. But yeah, it just.
Care Bear said, interesting with an owl. Owls can symbolize death, right? Is that right, Jai? I don't know if I heard that.
If owls are about omens, wisdom. For some, it can represent death, yes. But for me, owls, you know, they're all seeing. They can turn their head all around. They have great peripheral vision. They can see. They have wisdom. Like with Lenormand's, birds are messengers. They bring you messages of wisdom, omens, watch out, intuition. So yeah, really any bird is a messenger.
Yeah.
2-day gap. I mean, there was, according to that article, there was a day or 2 before they said, you know, your sister's missing. What? And that was from their one cousin. So yeah.
And I just had this fall out, the High Priestess, so that could be the cousin with the hidden information, you know.
Yeah.
Owl is like wisdom and messenger. Yes, Heather, right on. I usually think wisdom, but I heard seeing an owl close up can signify death. Didn't know that. Okay, so are we asking any other particular question?
And I just keep wanting to find out who this person is, main person. I'm trying to pull separately from the court cards and.
Do we see usually? Yeah.
No, this isn't. I don't think that was. Oh, it was worth a try. Let me try with this one here. I have this deck that was gifted to me, and some of the information that she writes on there is a little strange sometimes because I look at the card and going, that doesn't, you know, usually what my other decks do. But I absolutely love. I'm just gonna put myself.
Oh, I have that deck. Yeah.
It has this really cool texture. It's like broken pottery. It's like cracked. Yeah. It's got that crackled texture to it, and I love the font. And what they do too on these court cards, they kind of give you an idea of the age of the person. That's kind of interesting. Dark eyes, dark hair,
Yeah.
not necessarily, but it still does help in some readings. And then they'll put down their like professional business. Domineering is a new one for me for Queen of Pentacles. So I used this for readings on Edna yesterday, and I was getting, again, I got the King of Cups, then the King of Wands. So Allyson, that helped me. When you get another court card, it actually clarifies, the
first
other
one.
court card. So again, like that's initially what I was feeling. King of Cups coming across as, loving, and, I'm Mr. Right, I'm emotionally available, all this kind of, beautiful stuff. And then on top of it, you get the King of Wands, which is more about, and on this deck, it's restlessness, ambition, outspoken, more of a like an aggressive energy. And then the Wheel of Fortune. By then, the wheel had already turned. Then I got the Hierophant. Then I got the Four of Swords. Then I got the Three of Swords. That Nine of Cups, where they're smug, like, see if you can prove it, kind of deal. Strength card, Two of Pentacles, which is interesting. Juggling. Maybe this is the person, he was juggling two people. Maybe that could very well be what that was.
Yeah.
Next to it was the Five of Cups. You had gotten the Five of Cups as well.
Yeah.
From Sasha. I got the Ace of Swords. I got the Eight of Swords, that imprisonment, and again the Queen of Pentacles. So for me, it had to do a lot with a third party. I was getting lots of court cards, pentacle cards. There seems to be more than one person involved in this, and it sucks when it tends to kind of feel like it's family.
Yeah. They always say it's usually those closest to you.
Yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and do another quick shuffle and ask if, just specifically, if Marilyn's cousin, who let Marilyn know that her sister was missing 2 days later, if she had any involvement or has knowledge of what happened, of what really happened. Oh, and before we end too, I want to find out if the police had got information. Why were they looking in the boneyard for Edna? If information had come through. But I just want to look one more time at the cousin or family. Hi, Rain. How's our Jack? I hope you're doing well. I hope he's doing okay.
Book Bewitched asked who notified law enforcement.
I think it was Marilyn, after the fact that she didn't realize her sister was missing for a couple days. I mean, there's not very much information. It's basically it's like a 1 minute video to 2 minute video, and a lot of times the only the videos begin with talking about Susan, because they were looking for Edna when they found Susan. So
what? Rain.
Oh, honey.
Oh.
You gave him such a good life, sweetheart. You've been there taking care of him every step of the way. And he's not really, he may be physically going. He's not going to be there with you, but he's going to let you know he's there.
Oh.
You're going to feel that jump on the bed, or you're going to feel that. I still feel brushes by my feet and my legs at night for where my fur babies, my dogs used to lay, and my other kitties. I know it doesn't help with the pain. He stopped drinking water. Okay, yeah, he's letting his mommy know. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Okay, let me reshuffle. I'm just going to mute myself.
No, Rain, don't be deaf. You're all right, girl. Oh. I can't even remember what we were asking now.
I'm just asking if the cousin
oh yeah, Marilyn,
not Marilyn, no,
Marilyn's sister.
If the cousin who waited a couple days to tell Marilyn that Edna was missing, if she was involved or has knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe her name is Augustina, but I'm just going to mention the cousin. I reported her missing. Okay. Are you serious? Okay. So I reshuffled because I was shuffling. I saw Rain and I wanted to give her my support. And I looked down at the cards. I said, you know what? My emotions were addressing Rain. So I'm just going to put the cards back in and I'm going to shuffle.
Same
cards. Almost exact order. So when it comes to the cousin, Ace of Pentacles.
Huh.
Two of Wands. Short journey. Yeah. But for me, movement or near water. This is kind of weird how they put near water. Yes, but for me, the Two of Wands is the planning process. The Wands is that idea. Here, let me give you money coming. Yeah, money coming. Right on that deck, on that card, and then I got the Fool. Good friends. Yeah, I don't think so. A Fool. I'm going to pull a clarifier on the Fool, but needs to take a giant leap forward. So it just feels like, the cousin was involved. And I just feel like the Fool may have been like how maybe Edna had felt. Because I can just imagine if the cousin was there and she was expecting her to be there. I don't know if they all went up together.
Yeah.
Nine of Pentacles, peace of mind and contentment. Yeah, I think the cousin wanted money. She wanted what Edna had, or this family member. Yeah. What'd you get?
I have the Seven of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords.
There's the Queen of Swords.
Now I know the explanation you have about her pricking her finger on the thorns and that. But in this case, I just see it as like her. It has the cousin information, and Pentacles is about physical and material, having physical and material things in life. So this would suggest to me that like she has the information and she's there now going, oh God, does that implicate me, kind of a thing, And the Queen of Swords is someone, of course, who has the knowledge, has the information, so they kind of tie in with each other, really, in answer to this question, like.
Interesting.
September.
I could very
Yeah.
well be. Because I got the King of Pentacles again, and I also got the Two of Cups again when asking about her. And then I got the Knight of Swords, that speedy situation or finish. Maybe her cousin didn't know that he was going to do that. Maybe, like you said, oh no, what do I do now? That could very well be.
Yeah.
The Fool. But the Fool don't want on this card happiness, but still it's taking that leap.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Care Bear said gives me Snow White vibes and that evil queen with that imagery for some reason. Yeah. Does too. I like that. Yeah.
So, Rain, I am using, I don't have the box. Here, I don't know if it's still available. I think Rain is referring to this.
Well, that one.
These cards.
Thanks, Rain.
I don't know where it was gifted to me. A friend of mine was going to bought it because then she got scared. Oh no, they're tarot cards. Maybe I shouldn't. So she.
I have.
And it's called Secrets of Tarot by Amanda Hall. So it's Hinkler Books. So yeah, and at first I was just kind of like, I don't know. They're very thin, but I do like the artwork. I do like how they put some sort of description for possibly people for clearance.
Rain,
in the cards. Yes.
that deck, I have 2 copies of that, and it's less than €5 here. So if you want, I can send you a copy. I have the book as well.
Rain says, "Show your nails, girl."
My nails. You can't even see the colors properly, but anyway, there's a lovely kind of a baby blue and a lovely sparkly purple and this kind of off-white color. I love my nails.
I know. I used to be all about my nails. I think like the last question I want to ask is, why were they looking in the boneyard for Edna? You know,
So
did they get
was
a?
that was that even near where she went hiking with him? Like, do we know? We don't.
Nope, no, because according to the article, and even on the news they said, well, she went for a hike in the mountains with her companion, and hasn't been seen since. And then that one article mentioned that he claimed that, she left him, went back down the mountain. When he got to his car, she was not there and left. But yet he's not being considered a suspect, unless they're just saying that to make him feel or think that he's safe, And Marilyn said that her cousin waited to tell her that her sister was missing. It was like a day or two.
Yeah.
And that name of that cousin was Augustina. So, of course, entertainment purposes only. We're just looking at names and things and stuff. But I just want to see why law enforcement.
Yeah.
Because Moffat is, not near where she is. I didn't write down where Moffat was according to.
So they were actively looking for her in this boneyard place.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Isadora.
Hi, Isadora. Thank you for popping in. And whatever you get, if you've got any cards or anything, please share them, in the comments after anybody.
Do put them in the comments so that we can all read them later.
Oh, yes, that's right, Book Bewitch. We'll look at the house too really quick. Are you okay with time, Jackie?
Yeah.
Okay. So, this is so interesting. I'm shuffling and one jumped out and I just set it aside because I'm thinking, why were they looking at, why we're at the boneyard? And look at, there's the lantern. Why were they looking in the boneyard? And this also feels like he was in the cemetery, on the grounds.
Care Bear, I wonder, is there any corruption in law enforcement? Yeah, everywhere.
I don't know if, but I read, Jackie, I don't know if you read with me, but I read on Crystal Reisinger, and she's been missing from the Sagosh area. And some people are wondering if she's in there too. So a lot of missing people are being considered now, looking into, because they've already found James Montoya, July of last year. Then they found Susan in September while looking for Edna. And while looking for Edna, they found Susan and another set of remains, but they're not talking about whose remains those are. So people are upset. Well, we don't want you guys calling, putting that nickname on our town. Well, when you've got an area where people are,
yeah, where bodies just show up.
If they're so concerned with all these remains that they're finding, and when we talk about remains, they're pretty much skeletal by now because it is a desolate area. You have a lot of wildlife, coyotes and stuff. And so we're, especially if people go that far out, no one's going to see you. No one's going to really know what, I mean, it's an ideal place, And I'll put you on the big screen because I think you're ready. Why were they looking for Edna in the...
I just asked why were they looking for Edna in the boneyard, and I got the star and the 10 of swords, and it's kind of like it was their last hope, It was the last thing they could think of to maybe find a dead body, like. I don't know. Just seems strange. Ten of Swords again, yeah. Yeah. So strange one, but I just totally get last hope because you're not wishing upon a star and that kind of thing. Or maybe someone begged them to look there. Maybe the cousin kind of made it out to be that she got a tip or something from someone and said, "Oh, you should go check out there." I don't know. Gas rain. What do you like? That rainbow like sunset over the swords, beautiful. Yeah, these are gorgeous cards. I love it. The star card is amazing. I love it.
I'm getting some weird cards. Weird but not weird. I'm just trying to figure out. I got so that hermit jumped out. So why were they looking? There's like they were, and it's creepy because this is very much he's the groundskeeper. They're very well. There is a cemetery because in the story you see that she's in the cemetery that's connected with this mansion. So he's out. They're looking. I got the Queen of Pentacles. And when I asked for a clarifier for the Queen of Pentacles, because I'm wondering if this may have been a lead or something. She's holding that one pentacle in her hand. This could very well be a lead. They're following through. Maybe more tips are coming in because the queens are, like with the rabbit there, they're fertile, they're abundant. There's a ground in it. There's something there that was substantial enough. And I'm wondering if it came from a female. If someone tipped the line, because there is a tip line, and I asked for a clarifier and I got the Justice card. Someone really wants justice, so I think someone was reaching out, might have tipped them, and I got the Ace of Wands. I got that card, that candle card again. So there's that someone lit energy, an idea. Someone said here. And then I got the Nine of Pentacles again, a queen in her garden. And I also got the High Priestess. To me, I'm looking at these cards. I mean, a part of me wants to say that Edna's been talking to somebody's ear, the intuition. I don't know if there is somebody in her family that is intuitive, that has knowledge. And there's again with the High Priestess, there's the owl. The owl is about wisdom, insight, foretelling. For me, Nine of Pentacles, she's a queen of her own garden. It's home. And I also got again the cup. And what made me think about maybe Edna speaking to somebody is because I got the Page of Cups again, and for me that's angelic. She's got wings now. It's that very kind, caring, dreams, visionary, and I don't like this card particular. And if anybody has just as a heads up, if anyone has ever self-harmed or may have known somebody who may have attempted to take their life or have just you may or may not want to turn away. But I have a card here that makes me a little uneasy. I didn't bring it up yesterday because I didn't want make Sasha feel bad. But I did get the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords, new ideas, something coming through, connecting, and there's the blood there. So I don't know, guys. I just feel like somebody got a hit intuitively, maybe from Edna, but somebody, it's that Justice card, that Queen of Pentacles. I just feel like somebody really wants justice for Edna, and someone gave them information. And it could just be them saying too, what the hell, why not go look for there? But that doesn't make sense though, because that area is so huge. Why were they focused on that one area right there? So I don't think this was just, well, let's go for the hell of it. Why not? We just found so and so. I just feel like there is something else. Yeah, information. To me, that lighting that candle, lighting that information, making that call, inspiration. Here's a tip. Go check this out.
There was nothing.
No,
there was nothing anywhere. Was there about a huge search party?
Nope.
Yeah.
They ended up calling it off. Yeah, I mean, there was like literally hardly anything on this woman, and that's why I really wanted to cover her case, because these people, they deserve better than that.
I like that, Rain.
I see more like a witchy blood sacrifice rather than self-harm. Yeah. Just really quick, I know Book Bewitched mentioned earlier about looking at the house. Was anything removed from the house? Did you pull cards on that already, Jackie?
No.
Okay.
Was anything removed from the house?
Mm-hmm. Oh, jeez. That's not helping me. Let's get a different deck of cards. Let's do a fresh deck. No energy on it from today.
I don't know. Half my deck fell out. No, that's way too many cards.
Yes. Yeah, a couple times, like half the deck was flying. I'm like, no, Spirit, come on now. Let's rein it in.
That's just messing.
Wow, this isn't. I'm trying to figure out if I can reword this. If anything was taken from the house.
I don't know. These aren't making sense to me.
Oh, okay, then you can go first.
No, they're not making sense at all.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, maybe you can help me make sense of mine.
Yeah, go on, go first. We'll figure it out.
The first card that I got is interesting because it's in her bedroom. It's the Four of Swords.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm wondering if there's something in her room, in her bedroom that's missing or that got left behind. I got the Ace of Pentacles, something that was being created. In this, with it being the witch, she's creating a spell or she's creating energy. She's manifesting something. And then the last card I got is the Ten of Swords. So I'm wondering if she was collecting information, like she was finding information. Maybe, like you said, you got something with social media or something. Maybe she was finding messages Maybe she was finding, with it being pentacles, maybe she was noticing that maybe checks were missing or money was missing out of accounts. Maybe she was hiding something in her room with this. And then, of course, the 10 of swords being what eventually, was the ruin for that. So I went to my other deck, my Mysticaya deck, and Mystical Moon Tarot, excuse me. And it just told me to look at in there, and their Emperor card. And this is kind of a cool Emperor card. It's got the skull, But I got the Emperor again, Knight of Wands. There's that male energy. 9 of Wands. And then I got the Page of Wands. So there was something, messages great to eat. I mean, these are all wands here. This is all has to do with energy, with creativity, but willpower, impulsivity. It's interesting for a Page of Wands. She put a dove on there. I understand it's pages are like messengers. Oh, and look at that. There we go. The bird, messengers. Think about like Twitter, and it's holding a little message in her mouth. So text. Yeah, there we go. Okay, thank you. So she maybe found a creative way of looking into messages, discover something text-wise. The Knight of Wands. Actually, it's interesting because the Knight of Wands, Sasha said it was like someone holding a torch for somebody, waiting for somebody. I'm wondering if the Emperor, the boyfriend, was still holding that torch or seeing this other person, and she caught wind of it. Nine of Wands, and then the Page of Wands. Yeah, that could very well be. Do you have anything?
Burial or grave. So
oops. There we go. Okay.
Asking if there was anything found in the house, burial or grave. So I feel that there's information buried about an affair, because I have the affair card. And then I have active case. So someone somewhere must be still looking into some evidence, because what with all those, I had the cell phone card, I had social media, I had video and something surveillance and all those kind of things.
I just noticed this. I'm sorry, Rain Honey. Heather, I missed what you said about the cousin and the car. The cousin, I don't know if the cousin was with them at the mountains or not. We were just kind of trying to figure out if they were there, if they were part of let's go for the hike kind of thing. But what about the cousin is Marilyn had said during an interview on video, or it was listed in an interview that was put into an article, that a cousin of theirs, and I believe the name I wrote down was Augustina, had waited a day or two to let Marilyn know that her sister Edna was missing. So that's where we were kind of suspicious about what was what, with the other cards that we were getting earlier. The car, the boyfriend just said that I went to the car, she wasn't there, and I left. So I don't know if they did anything. There's absolutely nothing on this case about the investigation. The police have not released anything that I can find stating, their investigation, whether they looked at the car or what. It's just, they just said at the time he was not a suspect. And I'm like, how can he, but
It's bizarre. I don't know.
She was researching her man. Yep. So okay, people are starting to share cards now. So I think we're done with, or was there anything else you wanted to
No, don't think so.
Okay. So folks are starting to share some cards, which we can stop now and we can take a look at that. Let's see. All righty. Spiritual Rain. I see that Four of Swords, maybe as her peace and harmony was taken from the house. Okay, I see that. She lost that sense of peace and harmony because of him. Okay. I can definitely see that. Care Bear, that question for house. Got King of Cups, Hierophant reversed, Four Cups. For me, the minute I see Four Cups, it's like someone saying, if they're investigating the house, here, look what I found. Them look at going, no, that's not important.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, dismissing it.
Queen of Cups, Four Cups. A person throws a cup from a balcony outside of the house. Interesting. King of Cups. To me, this feels very much like how he kept presenting himself to her. Hierophant reversed. You know what? I really don't read reversals. Well, Hierophants are about tradition and stuff. Institutions, spiritual leaders. So
Do you know, like, yeah, Hierophant, like you said, institutions following rules and regulations. So reversed, it's like she was refusing to do what he said or wanted or whatever, him being the King of Cups.
or the
And
law
her,
enforcement
yeah.
going, well, because let's face it, a lot of these times,
One
when they
tradition.
are, minorities, I'm not saying that this is what the police did, but I'm seeing a lot of cases coming across where people
Yeah.
are missing. Doesn't matter necessarily who they are, unless it's a high profile person that's or affluent in the community or whatever. But they're like, no, you have to wait another 48 hours. No, this is what we discussed during the Dakota James. The family tried coming saying, listen, our son's been missing for 24 hours. We can't find him. No, you got to wait 48. And later on, I learned that from another channel that no, and there was a law that was passed because that happened in Minnesota. Someone was ended up being murdered. They could probably have found this person within the first 48. And so this law went into effect where most states across the country just adopted it, where if the police try to tell you, no, it's probably a runaway or you got to wait 48 hours, no, you can insist, you can bring up this law and they have to,
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most important kind of time after someone goes missing. Like,
Bye, Allie. Talk to you later.
because even here with a case, a woman that was brutally murdered outside her house back in 96, it was Christmas, the weather was very bad, and by the time they got the state pathologist or whatever to come down from Dublin, which is only 3 hours away, but with the weather bad and roads closed and all the rest of it, it was 2 days later before she got here, and sure, most of the evidence on the body lying out in the wilderness was gone, so it was just pointless, like.
People
So the
don't.
first 2 days is the most important, like.
Mm-hmm. And like again, if you're not a high profile person,
Yeah,
you're going to be like, it's sickening. It
yeah.
really is. Everybody should be given the same, yeah.
I don't know. I still think anyway there was definitely some dodgy group involved in this whole thing. I don't know. There was
Yeah,
definitely more than one.
humans. I prefer the company of my pets, to be honest. Me too.
Yeah.
And
Ain't that
Rain
the
said the
truth?
first 48. Yeah, I used to watch that a lot, and then I was into SVU and stuff, but then I had to stop watching it because I was starting to become fearful and paranoid going out.
Oh,
So I had to take a break from some of these shows. But no, Shan doesn't like these kind of shows, so now I have to watch most of these on my iPad. But I just think it's just because with cards and looking at Kate, and a lot of times I don't know. Lately, it seems like whenever I go on YouTube on the TV or something, I don't know where they'll put a case in my feed, and I'll be like, oh, who's this?
yeah,
And then by
yeah.
clicking on this, I'm like, oh, who's this? And then and Betsy Palmer, brought that incredible story of Tony Turner for us, where we were sharing with Sasha that water people celebrating, and there she was underwater. So Betsy was feeling that just before you, I think, pulled that card or after you pull that, Betsy was like, oh my goodness. And when it was her turn, she was like, I'm
Yeah.
seeing her in the water, where they staged it, but yet she felt like she was in the water. at some, so yeah, it's just really incredible.
Exactly,
Big
Rain.
Brother's watching your search preferences. Oh, yeah. And yesterday too was the, and I know Jackie's like, oh, Heather, but I'm still like really attached to the Delphi case.
Oh yeah,
Yesterday was the day the
anniversary.
girls actually went missing and were murdered, and today was the day that they were found.
Yeah.
So it's just they've been on my mind too as well, those two girls. And still nothing on the Flora 4 girls. I haven't seen
Yeah.
anything popping up. So it's just like,
No.
again, 4 young Black girls, little girls, die in a house fire that was set by arson, and yet do you see any of this on the news? No. It's sad.
Crazy. It is.
So I thought it was crazy the Queen of Cups was on the bottom of the deck. Oh, Cups water. Okay. Yeah, Rain, she finally stood up for herself. Rebellion. Yeah, untraditional or no commitment. There you go. She had hopes for this guy. I had cards pulled early yesterday, and the star card, and then the King of Swords, just like here, here who I truly am. And then the next card was, of course, the Nine of Swords, in pain, mental anguish, everything. There was but yeah, I think I'll probably pull some more cards on and see if it was more of a group of people. And if anybody again wants to share in the comments after the show, Jackie and I would love to see what you get. And that way we can kind of, when we look back later on, if any more information comes up, I can always refer later to comments and see just where we were overlapping and see what, became, evidential. Or what
Cool to have in the comments. Yeah.
The Deviant Moon. Yeah, the Deviant Moon. That was just a deck I could not get into. I, for a while, I know that Danny Shea, who does politics, he likes to use that, and it fits perfectly for politicians, let me tell you, but that's okay. It's a creepy deck. Yes, it is. So everybody, thank you. Let me see. Okay, I had a start comment, but I already addressed that. So, no, Rain, I am not. Rain just sent me a text, so I'm just responding. No, I am not. But I'll look into it. I got a lot of stuff going on today. Palo Santo, Jackie.
Yes.
I gotta get myself some more. I have my sage. But yeah, all right.
Love it.
Oh, thank you. Great work, ladies. And Saskia had a nice comment too for us. I thought I was able to. Yeah. So interesting to see you two work and with focus and commitment. Thank you. And I actually met Saskia through Sahana's channel, and Sahana does these amazing. Just she'll sit there and she'll look at the artwork and she'll talk and she'll, look at all the different layers of a card, and her voice is soft spoken. So it's beautiful when I can watch Sahana. I love watching. So that's where I met Saskia. So thank you for joining us, everybody. And if we learn of anything new in this case, keep an eye. If you learn of anything that comes out that we're not aware of, give us a heads up and let us know. So let's see, today's Wednesday. I might do a pop-up either tonight or tomorrow, maybe, but I will be back on Friday with Allyson. Hopefully Peter and Carolyn Booker are feeling a little bit better. I guess the sun did some major releases. It's some sort of energetic or magnetic releases or whatever that were like really making kind of people sick the last few days. People in chat will probably know coronal massive outbursts or something of energy. Some of them, these massive ejections, are like 6 times the size of Earth. It's just really strong energies hitting our planet.
That's why I'm not sleeping.
So hopefully Carolyn and Peter will be feeling better. And Peter and Carol, they do mediumship work. They've done paranormal investigations. Wonderful people. And Peter actually reminds me of Sir Patrick Stewart. And I saw that one night and they put in chat, he got the biggest kick out of it. But yeah, I said, Patrick, you mean Sir, I go, Peter, you mean Sir Patrick Stewart. So, alrighty, everybody. Thank you again. Thank you also again yesterday for supporting Jackie and I on her channel with Sasha. Glad that everybody was able to enjoy it. And we will see you on the next live. Have a great week, rest of the week, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day.
Thanks, guys.
And if you can't be